I'll put it in a basketball analogy. People, come on, follow me. You know, I dropped 20 and 10 last week, you know. Last week, he was reaching. Just reaching. He fouled out of the game. You understand, people? Well, if they don't want certain things to...
That has nothing to do with Kartel. You're putting something on Kartel that has nothing to do with him.
What do you mean?
That has nothing to do with him.
He's the biggest.
That has nothing to do with him.
Why are you screaming?
Because you are putting things.
And
this man here comes along now and tells us it's
Gaza,
AI.
The Gaza extremist group, they're my page. I'm not into freaky life.
Important. I know it's coming.
You can't turn off a phone, dog. You can't turn it off. You can't turn off a phone.
Let me there say something that answer and keep on a call.
Man, you do a podcast. You can't turn off a phone.
Anyway, back to what me I say. Cause the youth are a little rude right now.
Back at them. Another week. Episode number 3.
Which
Reggae
is right.
here. Checking in. What's going on, people?
Rockstar 860. Yeah, once again he said episode 3. Thank you for the subscribers for the first 2 weeks. We're doing good. Subscriptions look good. Like, comment, share, subscribe, share it in your groups. Tell a friend, you know what I mean? Well, I go on reggae. New week.
Nothing there, you know. Yo, enjoying myself, man. I kind of like the energy, like the vibe. People them say, yeah, you know. They say, yeah. Podcast is, you know, it have a nice different energy. So, it's cool.
So, last week, did they get enough cartel?
So yeah, the cartel
references?
counter. Yeah, I don't know. They said like you're averaging like 30 cartels per episode.
So I forget it. The higher 30 is a little bit.
No.
We are raise the number. But first off, serious note. Big up some people on YouTube who help me promote and get subscriptions up and views. You know what I mean? Big up Sasha Ice. One Sasha Ice.
Yeah, man.
It's a lovely lady on YouTube. She help out a lot of people with them live on them pages. So big up Sasha Ice, you know what I mean? And big up everybody channel who I pass through. Gaza Uncle, Freeway Reggae Dancehall, State of Dancehall. Big up over Imhotep University, Rickstorm TV, 10 Star TV, you know what I mean? Big up everybody. Brando, you don't know it, girl.
See that? Yo, they said them still have place here. Cause you know say he's a man, them block and delete all the while, you know. But big up all of the subscribers and big up all of the different outlets out there, you know. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah man, big up everybody. No, them not really block me on the YouTube, but over Instagram, you know what I mean? Instagram, you don't know me comment and me left certain comments, but some people take it a certain way. But respect and big up to everybody. I saw it go YouTube, media, you know how it go. So you don't know, we start off already, we introduce ourselves, which we did that, but what you have to say? So what you have to say?
Yeah, so what was the feedback? How did you feel last week? What do you feel the feedback was?
The feedback was good. I mean, like I said, our views going up as we go along. A lot of the things we talk about, the Sean Paul topic, is heated.
Yeah.
Some people might disagree with what I say, but I just lived through it. You know what I mean? A lot of people agree because they lived through it. You know what I mean? It was a good debate.
So
me not hate nobody. Me just attack what I remember or what I lived through. So you can't hate that.
So you spoke to someone and they share the same perspective as you?
Yes, many people share the same perspective on the Sean Paul. Like, not saying that he didn't do good for signing and reaching the airwaves that he reached, but when we took it to the streets and in the streets, the dances, the pasa-pasas, the weddy-weddies, everybody remembered it a different way. You know what I mean? But we don't say him not the good or him not the great because he's a Jamaican, he's a great artist. You know what I mean? He did a lot with his talents and his career. We can't knock him, but reality is reality. And when we talk about dancehall and the essence of dancehall, irrelevancy.
You know, feedback that I got from last week's episode is that I wasn't given enough pushback.
Why?
Pause. I wasn't given enough input, you know, because I allowed you to just spew out different erratic statements and just saying things without factual checking. And, individuals are
So what
saying
did
to
you
me,
fact check that I didn't fact check?
well,
Remember,
it wasn't even, so basically, I'll tell you my feedback. Feedback, kind of, I'll put it in a basketball analogy. People, come on, follow me. I dropped 20 and 10 last week. Last week, he was reaching, just reaching. He fouled out of the game. You understand, people? He
people,
fouled out. Yeah.
people. I played like an all-star, triple
Nah,
double.
you were
I
reaching all
mean,
over the place, man.
triple
So
double.
with that
I
being
even gave
said,
him an assist.
hold on. With that being said, you were reaching so hard to where you were saying, were you at Pasa Pasa?
No, I said
Were
you
you?
were.
Yes,
I
I
said
know I
you
was.
were,
No, yes,
and
I.
you didn't
Were
hear,
you? Were
and
you
you
at
didn't
Weddy
hear what I
Weddy?
asked you if you heard.
Were you at Weddy Weddy?
No,
All
you
right.
were, and you didn't hear these
Okay.
things.
So you weren't at these places.
And you were,
But
and you didn't hear them.
However, you weren't at these locations,
Yes.
and you factually came on camera and you were saying certain things.
Yes.
And another thing that ones would have wanted me to give a little feedback on, where when it even comes to Shaggy and his Diamond album. While yes, he sold 8.8 million in the United States, you know, globally he sold over 12 million.
I said that.
So no, no,
And
no.
it's and it can sell
But
15 million
you
globally.
also said,
He still doesn't have a diamond certificate
hold on. This, see,
um
you're not gonna do this
given by
again.
the RIAA, the governing music
Yes,
body in
yes.
America that gives
He
out
hasn't
certain
attempted.
awards, platinum
He
awards,
hasn't attempted
diamond
to go
awards,
collect
gold
that.
awards.
It shows to
He
his
can't,
class.
he didn't reach 10 yet. He
It
has to
shows
reach
to
10.
his
He
class.
has 1.2 million more albums to sell on Hot Shot to reach diamond.
Well, anyway,
I don't know.
sir, we're not gonna do,
Numbers add
sir,
up.
we're not gonna do this week. But that was just that was last week.
Uh,
Last week I dropped 20 and 10.
My fans,
This
my
week,
people, it was a good attempt, but
last
a
week,
failure again.
last
He
week,
just crashed the plane.
last week, last week I dropped 20 and 10.
I
Today,
had a triple double.
today, all of a sudden he has basketball analogies. You see this, yo? Get to,
I don't know.
yo. This week I'm gonna do, today. I'm gonna drop our next 30 piece. Boom. Yeah. Big reggae forward.
LeBron the leader scorer in the NBA and he doesn't win.
Anyway, come with your cartel ticker. Run the first.
All
Intro the
right.
first topic.
Like I said, we
Cartel
always
ticker.
start off
Start count.
over the weekend with some Cartel, VYBZ Kartel, World Boss, the GOAT, the king of the dancehall, VYBZ Kartel. He was in Miami, another arena. Like at the end of last week, it was a heated debate. You got upset because I was asked about Cartel Arena shows. Now we see him successfully sell out his third in a row. 2 in Brooklyn, 1 in Miami.
What do you mean I was upset?
Because I was asking about his touring, how you feel about his touring and doing arenas in the United States. Not really touring, but doing arenas in the United States. And you felt that I thought you were a little aggressive and you didn't want to talk about it. So
You know they could see you, right?
yeah, and they could go back and watch episode 2. That is, you know what I mean?
Shameless plug.
Somebody has to do it.
Anyway, so just to retort to what you said.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't have. Cartel's gonna sell out. I said last week that Cartel's gonna sell out every arena. You had doubts. However, what I said is that I'm not here to talk about Cartel's itinerary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be like, oh well, next week Cartel's gonna be at Santo de Mayo. You're gonna be there. That's not my thing, and that's what I was kind of saying. Like, I didn't want to talk about. Hold on. I didn't want to talk about like his next tour date or his next scheduled booking.
Yes.
I didn't want to speak on that, but of course this is a. Let me land, man. Honestly, yo, Cartel's show in Miami, it was one of the best shows that I've seen thus far. I think his performance. I think his performance was, better than at Freedom Street. I'm talking individually. It was better than when I saw him at Barclay, in my opinion. You know, he even mentioned several times that that was the best crowd that he had since he's been in America, And to be honest, I would say that would have been the best performance I would have seen him. He was finishing second verses. You know, he was really like, even I even like the set, the format of the different songs that he played, because you know at each one of these arenas
Doing
he's
the
not
same
doing the same
songs.
set. So that, you know, it was a pleasant surprise, man. Like it was a really really pleasant surprise to see him, you know, getting back like into the form of things, so to speak. What say you? I'll let you go ahead and, you know.
Folks, that was his Idonia moment, the olive branch. I mean, but yes, Cartel did perform good, great. Um, I'm not going to allude back to Brooklyn. At least we all know Brooklyn two nights was a massive crowd. I mean, aesthetics, visuals, Brooklyn had that aura. But Miami was a great vibe. I liked how he started off his set with Miami Vice episode. It was like a perfect song to the perfect moment. You know what I mean? Especially when I'm saying everybody put your hands up. Everybody, it's like the energy started from there and it continued through his performance for about hour and a half. He brought out a few guests later in his set, not early in the set. You know what I mean? So people can't say, oh, we got the guests them early. No, he really performed before he brought out the guests. Shout out to Stefflon Don. She did her thing. Wayne Wonder came out. He did his thing.
He did one song.
Offset. They did their thing. What we expected. We didn't expect them to do a I said album launch. Offset
Ooh,
came
ooh,
out.
ooh.
Ric Flair. I mean, he did his thing. That was
That's it.
surprising. Seeing that we expected to see Cardi B or something like that, and we got Offset. You know what I mean? Russian came out and did his thing. Um, they said that Egyptian was there. He did his.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Egyptian
Egyptian did
work.
his thing.
Yeah.
DJ Khaled came out and gave a great performance because everybody seemed like they loved DJ Khaled and the selection of music that he's playing. He gave tribute to Bounty Killer, Capleton. You know what I mean? So it looked like, all in all, it was someplace to be for the weekend. It looked like Cartel did the Cartel thing, and it's more than a concert, people. Like I said, we've been there. He's been to two, Freedom Street, Brooklyn. I've been to Brooklyn. It's more of an experience more than a concert, but you still get the concert vibe and feel. But the Cartel arena is an experience, and you have to just be there. You can't watch it on the internet and get the same vibe or the same feeling like you do in person. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't agree with you in that aspect, because there's been many years that, yo, 3 o'clock in the morning on friggin' dial up, where, or what I mean by is, or even people might experience it, you know, you're streaming and the streams is cutting, but I'm watching Stings 10 years ago, 15 years ago online, and, you know, like I didn't feel like the experience was less than. I just wanted to experience it. However, you know, his live performance, it was impressive at this Miami show. In my opinion, you know, I thought some of the others had so much more room for growth. This is the growth that I like to see. Also, he paid it forward by bringing out Bunty Killer's son, Major
Oh yeah,
Major.
I forgot
So
him. You know what I mean?
that
Excuse me
was,
for getting him.
yeah, that was refreshing to see. You know, him trying to pay it forward to the great Bunty Killer. I'll ask you a question. It
Yes.
brings something to mind. So, am I well? These sons of like icons, so to speak, like a Major Major, or even Cartel sons. What? And we're not even gonna keep it in dancehall. You'll even
Butcher
say,
have sons too. That's in
yeah,
music.
or even Ti's son. Ti son. What the heck is this little young guy's name?
Um,
Ah, yeah, yeah.
King.
King. Even King. Like King tried, like all of these individuals, you know, follow or try to follow or emulate in their son's footsteps or their father's footsteps. And it seems to be, you know, it seems to be like day and night, so to speak. You know, or it is it like, do you think like the expectation or the bar is set so high that it's hard for like those individuals to get their fair chance?
I think it's different hunger. Their parents or their fathers, their hunger were survival, and we have to get out of here. I have to do this. I have to make it to a better place than where I'm at now. And like we have kids, and we give our kids things that we didn't have. Like we try to give our kids the best. So they're from, like, even take Cartel sons. They live a rich life. They live a
Right, without having to.
They don't even have to do the music. They could just go along with their dad and say, Dad, I want to do video when they do video informer. They don't even have to do anything because he loved them that much.
True,
I mean,
true.
so they don't need that drive. They just want to do it because it's something to do. I can stay out of trouble. I don't got to be around certain things. Music, they probably love the music, yes,
Yeah.
but they hunger for the music. It's not the
Not
same.
there. I get it.
You can't make me want $1 million if I see $1 million every day.
Even with LeBron James and LeBron, it's kind of like that nepotism. You're expecting to see lightning in a bottle twice, then, so to speak.
I wouldn't even say nepotism. Nepotism is what people class it. But if I'm the child and you made it already, and I'm your child,
Yeah.
so to say, you're not nepotism of me. Yeah, to get me somewhere, you might say, yo, get my son over there. All right, I understand that, but I'm your son already. I got it. I see what you're doing. I could tell myself, yeah, I want to do that, but is my drive the same when you were my age growing up? You know what I mean? Is the 14-year-old you the same as your 14-year-old son? I mean, is your 14-year-old son drive like your drive at his age?
I understand the hunger aspect that you're speaking about, but when it comes to nepotism, you're kind of saying, hey, well, all right, this is the line, and I'm going to get my son in front of the line. And that's where
nepotism.
Right, so, and that's what we're saying, essentially, because I don't want to pick on any dancehall, but LeBron's son, so to speak, he's going to get the best trainers. So if it was formulated into major, so I'm not picking on you, but like he can get the best producers type of thing to produce for him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, he could get the best of everything, but within him, how much is his hunger? How much is his drive? You could give me $1 million, but if I don't save it or spend it the right way, I could finish that $1 million, and then what? You know what I mean?
So you're saying it's a hunger aspect.
It's a hunger. You got to be hungry to reach. Look at Deion Sanders' son. Everybody say he don't love it or he's overly cocky or why, or he's overly, into himself.
Yeah.
But his action on the field shows that he loves the game.
Okay.
I mean, he don't have to play the game because his father is that person, Deion Sanders. But he loves the game, but he also has that confidence. Does these kids of these artists have that confidence? I mean, do they have that confidence?
Well, I think I don't doubt that Adi's sons have confidence. But what I think more, I'll leave it at this, and if you have another word to say, it's fine. But what I'll leave it at is essentially what I said earlier, where it's lightning in a bottle. Buju's lightning in a bottle. Cartel's lightning in a bunty. These guys are. It's just lightning. I don't think it's gonna strike like 2, 3.
And when you're lightning a bottle, we could take it back to another sports. The only ones that came close in our generation, lifetime, whatever, was Ken Griffey Jr. and his father, Ken Griffey Sr., because Ken Griffey Sr. was a champion baseball player. He was a good, I ain't going to say he was the greatest, but he was a more than average good player. And we see Ken Griffey come along, and he also was that dominant player.
But you see what you had to do? You had to leave. So we were speaking, and I'm not saying that, but we were speaking, we use a basketball reference and a music reference, and you had to leave both of those and go into
that's the only person
to find
one person that
out of
so much things in life. Yeah,
So it's rare.
It's rare. You know what I mean?
Further on in the news, what do you got for the next topic?
This one might be Trinidad. We see Trinidad now. Cartel has a show. Big up Trinidad, you know what I mean, Tobago. he has a show May 31st. That's 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
2 weeks from this weekend. And we see the defense minister forward out and ban him from doing certain movements in the country while he's there. And we see the prime minister double down and agree with the defense minister and explain why she doesn't want Kartel talking to kids or interacting with kids because he can't do no interviews on the radio, interviews on the TV.
Yeah, it was two interviews
He
that
had
he canceled.
he had a speak in it, I guess, set up to talk to kids. He had a community meeting or
Doesn't want him to attend to the schools, right?
so it's like they don't want him to do anything. Just come do your show, and that's it. And to be fair, I listened to the prime minister, and she's saying she's not stopping him from moving around the country per se. She just stopping him from interacting with their children.
Yeah.
She don't want him to be an influence on their children,
Yeah.
good or bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she also made a comment that was sounded really crazy to me, that a prime minister would make, that nobody in her country has absolute freedom. And I'm thinking that even in a first world nation like America, when they take away your freedom, it's only if you're in prison or if you're on parole or you're on probation where you have to check in, so you don't really have absolute freedom in that aspect. But no one in her country, even the goody two-shoes.
Well, you do know, like in every country they have their own laws. So you go to the Middle East, you go to jail for ganja. You know what I'm saying? They have death penalty laws for, the LGBTQ ABC LMNP community. So it's, you just have to respect one's when you go to a different country, you can't operate in the same manner.
No, I understand every country has laws and regulations,
Yeah.
but to say that no one has absolute freedom, do you know what that is? That means me and you right now sit here, we don't have absolute freedom to do what we want. We have to check in here, check in there, or even if we don't do anything, we could be Mother Teresa. We don't have no freedom.
It's Trinidad's policies. What do you think? What do you think about the whole
Well, seeing that,
the whole thing with Kartel?
all right, Cartel, we all know 2002 to 2011, we know his history, his stories. We know 2011 to 2024, July 31st, he was in prison. So we know that history. But since July 31st till right now, May, whatever day we on in May 19th, he's a different person than what we saw or heard about in between 2002 and 2024, July 31st. I'm not saying everybody's going to say, oh, this man is free now, let's give him the olive branch. And I'm not saying that, but you have to give somebody a chance. If they're showing you that, yo, I'm trying to be a better person, I'm making my way to be a better person. And if you say, even if I'm innocent of the charges and I went to prison because guilty or not, he wasn't behind the bars, and guilty or not, he has to go through a rehabilitation. Maybe he can be saying he's rehabilitated from the person that we knew him to be before, which is right. And everybody changes as life goes on. Nobody stays the same. You know what I mean? So to hear the defense minister come out and say, oh, he got off on a technicality, when everything in the courtroom is a technicality. Now, I mean, everything derives or is based on technicality. You have to have the proper this, the proper that. That's all technicality. If a police was to take in America by, for example, especially down south, if a police just come to you and don't read your Miranda rights, that is the Miranda rights, you have the right to remain silent, ray, you can get off on charges, especially down south, on a technicality. So, and then even with that, we saw the process play out through the courts, the appeal courts, the Privy Council, back to the appeal courts. We saw everything front and center. Nothing was hidden. And if the defense minister wants a technicality, the man was convicted on a corrupt jury. How more technical can you be? That case wasn't even finished because they didn't even get a proper judgment to say he is guilty or not. That's the technicality also. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Trinidad, they have to get things together. Jamaica can say that too. I know everybody in Trinidad good because they don't have absolute freedom, as we can see. And Jamaica wants to say, Trinidad, man, you have to you have to stay in your hotel. We don't want it to get to that. You know what I mean?
People, this is the moment the leg starts to twitch again.
Yeah.
All right? You got So if you know from last week, anytime you give any critique to the Gaza extremist, that's his new name this week. He's the Gaza extremist.
And people, Gaza fans don't really care about words calling or names calling.
Yeah,
it's so much. So
anyway,
that's so 2011.
Yeah, the Gaza extremist here, you know, he's going to say things and allude to things, and this had so you said a lot. You started off by saying everything is a technicality. Everything is not a technicality, bro.
What?
Wait, no. If someone's, let's say someone does a crime.
Yes.
And the person's blatantly innocent.
Yes.
And they're proven innocent,
yes.
then that person's innocent.
Yes.
That wasn't a technicality.
Yes. We don't know how we don't know what the process went through to know where the technicalities fall through. Yes or no?
If someone runs through a red light.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And the camera catches them.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And they plead out or whatever. They plead out.
Yes.
That's just common law. It's innocent or guilty. Now, what happened in Trinidad? Now, if Trinidad decides to say, hey, well, okay, you've been rehabilitated, and
they didn't say that.
I'm paraphrasing.
They didn't say that, so you can't say they're saying he got off on a technicality. I mean, they don't believe that he's rehabilitated.
But when you spoke for like a whole 8 minutes, I didn't say
But don't
anything.
say Trinidad said that he's they didn't say nothing. They didn't allude to nothing of that.
You have to let me land. It's a 747 at forwarding.
Go on, land.
It's a big plane.
The water now, come on, go on, land.
Anyway, if Trinidad because according to you, right? Cartel has been rehabilitated then.
I said what he said.
Bro.
I said what we're seeing in the public eye.
Okay, so from 2002 then until he got out of prison, Trinidad would have had to tolerate things that might not have been privy to them or might not have been to their likings, right?
I don't know.
Okay, so when the president decides to say, they didn't say that he cannot perform. They said that they don't want him to attend 2 radio hostings and go to a primary school or elementary school. Well, there's 2 things to that. That's their right to do that. And because you're an extremist and you say, yeah,
no,
well,
I didn't say it's not their right to do it. I'm not an extremist. I'm talking about what it is. And he went through a process of court and justice. So it can't be what they're saying.
Twitching.
The whole world. I'm not twitching. You're saying something that I didn't say. I'm saying what I saw in the public eye. I can't be extreme.
I allowed you to.
But you're pandering to the audience, brother.
No, I'm talking the truth.
No, you're pandering. No,
I'm speaking truth.
You're saying I'm extreme, and all I did was talk what I saw happen last year.
Decides to say, hey, well, and furthermore, Cartel came out in a video and he expressed that, yo, it's the promoter that's asking him to do these other things, and he doesn't have a problem with just doing his show, collecting his bag and bouncing, which that's not a problem. Anyway, Trinidad is going through. Do you know that Trinidad is going through their own thing with their 6 and a 7 and the gang?
That has nothing to do with Cartel.
They have this.
That has nothing to do with Cartel.
No, well, if they don't want certain things,
that has nothing to do with Cartel. You're putting something on Cartel that has nothing to do with him.
What do you mean?
That has nothing to do with him.
He's the biggest.
That has nothing to do with him.
Why are you screaming?
Because you are putting things on him that has nothing to do with him.
I'm putting things on.
Okay.
I'm saying that Trinidad has their own thing going on with their own artists. The Trinidad Badness movement. Mm-hmm. Right now, the 6 and the 7, they're at it left and right.
It did say that Cartel was linking up with Trinidad artists to talk, or he's going to a school to talk to kids. He's going to a TV station, and he's going to a radio station. In nowhere, shape, or form did we hear him linking up with any Trinidad artists to perpetuate this. Oh, they're going through their own thing of violence. Stop it.
So you feel as if Trinidad's wrong because they say that they don't want him on the radio.
Yes, that's utter rubbish. That's utter rubbish. That's utter foolishness. They can't even explain why they don't want him on the radio.
Well, if that's
the children is always such the easiest draw to talk about. Oh, the children.
Well, if that's
Stop it. Them they even say, oh, he's going to influence the other bad people them in their country, but then try to bring it down to the children. And here you hear what you say. They have their Trinidad artists. They're 6 to 7, to 8 to 9 to 10. Yes. In them country where them picnic them see every day. That's not affecting their children. But Kartel, who is coming to do a show or talk to a child about don't get into the problems. I've seen all these people in jail and prison, what they went through. Look at Dante Brooks, Mavado's sons. Don't go through that in life. That's a problem.
Well,
that's a problem.
Well, being that being that ruffled your feathers, that introduced the next topic. What do you think about what Guyanese religious groups has to say about Kartel and his Jesus song, banned?
Oh well, ban it. They name ban Ever Bless. They name ban that, but them ban Good Like Jesus. I guess. If that's what ruffles their feathers today, the Banos, if that ruffles the Banos' feathers, just cunt of people them, I guess.
Why would you say such a thing?
I guess the Banos got ruffled.
So you calling the
No, Guyanese, I just say the Banos.
You calling the Guyanese Banos?
No, the Banos, the Banos, whoever the Banos may be.
So, why are you upset with them banning that?
I'm not upset with anyone because it's a song, and if they want to ban the song, they ban the song, I guess.
They just
have you heard Kartel perform that song yet on any of his performances?
Well,
but I guess it's a hit in Guyana. All fun and jokes aside, I guess it has to be a hit in Guyana for them want to ban the song because it must be playing extremely and a lot. Because it has to be into the public ear, and every day they must hear it. So I guess, songs travel from here and there, and certain songs hit differently here and there. So I guess it's a hit song over in Guyana, but Kartel not worry about that. Yeah, the man said what night? He must song for Stone Dog. You know what song that?
Yeah, he does have songs to Stone Dogs. But this song in particular we're speaking on.
Yeah. Yeah, look at the lyrics.
Good Like Jesus. Do you know the do you know the lyrics of the song?
Mosquito window. You know what the mosquito window is?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
You take back way and a couple more.
Yeah.
Open wider than the door.
Yeah.
Bomber clot. Hey girl. Your front good, P-U-S-S-Y. Your
like
front
Jesus.
good.
Like Jesus.
Like Jesus.
Yeah. I said Jesus was a good person. Nothing. You know what I mean? The most holiest person. That means such shit.
Yeah.
I from good.
Yep. P-U-S-S-Y.
Yeah.
Good like Jesus.
Yeah.
And you think that
it's words, what?
If they decide to ban
and song. They ban the song and what? What, that stop Kartel career?
Well, I mean
really?
So why
that stop Kartel career. So alright. You went to Freedom Street, you went to Brooklyn. If you did go to Miami, you'd jump up and say, yo, Kartel, good like Jesus, right now. That took something away from your night?
What do you mean?
I'm wondering, brother. I'm wondering. If them say a song ban, that take away from your night?
To be honest, to be honest, if you're asking me a question, to be honest, the banning of the song made me go check it out and made me even look up. I found out about another song that got banned in Guyana. So it's not just a Kartel thing.
Songs had songs banned in Guyana from 2009.
Well,
2010, them times. It's always been banned in Guyana.
They banned a song like this week that's going viral in Guyana. Shout out all of the Guyanese. The song, you know it over there, Chinese. I guess it's done by Version and Clark and Richard. And I guess they got a song where I guess they're kind of depicting going to the Chinese supermarkets and taking things off the shelf. So
If that's what
then
they
you
banning songs for, I
so
guess.
so yeah, it's not like a.
I guess.
So yeah.
So what did that verse say? Let me hear that verse. Cause you looked up Good Like Jesus. Let me hear the China song now.
Yeah, trust me.
Let me hear it. Cause you tell me say them about the next song. Let me hear that verse.
The Good Like Chinese. I mean, I don't think the Good Like Chinese.
But you went and looked at Cartel verse and say the uproar and the malice.
But I just deflected. I told you exactly what the song kind of had. I don't have to look up the verse.
Yeah, but me want to hear the verse. You are
on your
you
spare
paraphrasing.
time, yo, they need the views. They take the views. Yo, big up Version and Clark. You know what I mean? Go look up the Chinese song.
Yo,
Anyway.
band song, band man, I guess.
Anyway.
I guess. Countries do what you must, I guess. Cartel a perform song. That not gonna stop in performance them. That not stop in catalog. I mean, somebody over there wanna be famous this week. Big up the religious groups in Guyana. You're famous this week. Next week, I don't know.
But Cartel is polarizing, Rugo.
That's what I said.
Yes, he's
this week they're famous this week.
But when he's singing,
Cartel will be in Guyana on Saturday the 24th.
But when he's singing songs saying, "Hey, your PUSSY is good like Jesus," I mean, it's kind of, can't he find better lyrics?
In Ever Bless him said the girl them coming like Bible. So what's the difference? And that's a hit song.
So
what's the difference?
Basically you're saying that he's
what's
recycling lyrics?
No, I'm saying he looks at the girls them as next to God, as next to to religion. You know what I mean? Okay. Religion's supposed to be like the utmost of the holiest. The woman them holy to him. So he sings about them. I love Pum Pum. It doesn't bother me.
Man, you got it to the extreme. God's extreme. What's next on the...
Yeah, moving on. Remember, this is the Let Me Land podcast. I give it to you raw and uncut, unfiltered, straight to the truth. Pause. But you don't know.
Why?
Like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell a friend, you know what I mean? So my brother, this is more up your walkway, you know. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're an artist.
Yes.
Vendetta, Mr. Alkaline, Erlen Bartley. He's been around a while now.
Ush.
He's been around a while now. People say 2013, but I remember music he has back to late 2011, 2012.
That way.
When he was happy-go-lucky Alkaline, running around in the school parking lot in the cars. Yeah, I forget about those days, but I don't. But anyway, he did an interview recently. I don't think the whole interview came out, but he was over England one day. He filled out his, what was it, O2O or OVO? Which one? The smaller venue though. The smaller venue.
OVO.
He pulled his 12,500 or 10,000, 11,000. I mean, but he came out and he had an interview. And in the interview, what everybody's been talking about, he said something that he's filing his own style or his own way of doing music now. I just want to ask you one question, being that you're an Alkaline fan.
Yeah, what's the
from
question?
2013.
What's the question you got for me? I'm ready.
Whose style was he in before?
So, that's a good question. But before I even answer that, I would have to say, where did you see this interview?
It was going around online on IG all week. It's not. They didn't put out the full interview. It was interview he did while he was in the UK.
Yeah,
it was
correct.
Bits and pieces here and there.
Bits and pieces?
Yeah. Or that piece. I don't know if it had more bits, but that piece made its round.
Yeah, okay.
And that was the conversation of the week. So I just want to know your take. Whose style? Brother, may I ask you, whose style was the man in before? Because him saying I'm own style.
Yeah, but so which interview? I want to know if
the lady. I don't remember the BET UK.
I'm trying.
The
could you
UK BET.
Describe it to me. How did?
Oh, he looked very timid and insecure of his answer. Like the lady asked him a question, and before he answered, like she asked him, who did he look up to, or who did he admire growing up, who helped him to craft his craft? And him passed about 5 minutes, and then him said no one, which was a lie, and we can tell he was lying. But it was a very cringing interview. But I'm asking you a question. Whose style was he in before? Because he said he's in his own style now.
So the interview, it was cringing. But I'm just...
It was cringing for a person who haven't done an interview in 9-10 years.
I don't know, because I seen something going around, but I don't know which...
Did you watch it?
How did the cover look?
He was in... she was in like a floral dress, I think.
And what was Alkaline?
He was in the black guy them again. The black guy. Remember the black guy?
He was in what?
The black guy. You remember the black guy? The fake guy.
Blind eye boy?
Blind eye boy. Are that your wait fun?
Oh.
Blinds?
Yeah. So, all right. So that is the interview that you're speaking on. Okay. Yeah.
I guess.
Let me ask you a question.
No, I ask you a question. Y'all know you know him not like answer question people. For last week you can see that. I ask him whose style was this guy into? Why I mean I'm own style no? Because he had to be in somebody else's style before. For him want to say him in a theme style. No. It's not like him say me that I work by my side before. I know me elevate my style even more. No, he didn't say that. Him say him in a him style. No. So whose style was he in before?
Javaki. Talk off one. Anyway, because someone just go on and on and on and on and on and on. As I said, and I've said to you once and I've said it again, because I wanted to know which exactly interview you were referring to.
I said the BKUK.
Now that we've established that you're speaking on the same interview on which I thought you were speaking on, and you went on that tirade. What did you say? He looked timid.
Very.
And what else did you say?
Cringe.
Cringe.
Intimidated.
Intimidated.
Unsure of his answers.
You're disdain.
That we wanna see the full interview now. That's what it made us want to see the full interview
for
now.
Alkaline is perpetuating.
It's not.
Part of your blood.
It's not.
Yes. It's
people. My tone and
evident.
my volume has stayed the same consistently.
Just because
I'm not like him. I don't.
You're just being a same volume hater. That's all you're doing.
Oh no, he haven't answered the question. Who style Alkaline wasn't before? So, about 6 times asking one question.
Of course, because your question is foolishness. Utter foolishness.
He said it. I didn't. He did the interview. I did. Alkaline said he grew into his style now. Whose style was he in before? That's all I'm asking.
Rugged Rockstar.
Rockstar 860, YouTube, IG, TikTok.
Anyway, come check him over here, sir. It is what it is. This is where it is. Yes, sir. Right now, yeah. Sorry.
Water. It want land. Water.
Right now, I'm about to drop like 60 on them. Anyway, you're supposed to be reputable, my boy.
I didn't say anything that's a lie.
So
I said nothing that's a lie. I watched it.
Yes, you did watch it.
That's my observation of what I watched.
Yes, and all you're doing now is over talking me. But when you're watching utter foolishness and you're watching rubbish,
yes, he was utter foolish and he was utter rubbish in that interview.
You're gonna have to. All you're doing is over talking me. Allow me to talk, bro. Allow me to talk now.
The aggression. Here come Manny Pacquiao. Here
So, yeah, you're not going to ad-lib over me. However, bro, if you're supposed to be reputable, you're supposed to go ahead and do the research. Who's the person that interviewed him? You can't tell me. You know why? Because it's not a reputable news source. So you're going to tell me that
UKBET?
Go on your phone right now.
UKBET.
Go on your phone right now and pull up UKBET and show me on their profile a picture with Alkaline and the girl that a scheduled interview is going to
So what you're telling me, it was a fake interview?
I'm just saying.
It was people, you heard that.
What?
This man Alkaline is on UKBET and they advertise it as such. And this guy, a loyal fan boy, said it's a fake interview. You heard it here first on Let It Land podcast.
Yo, I gotta take a time out. Give me 1 second. Yo, I'll come back up. Yo, man, I dropped 40 for you. Yeah, so back to what I was saying.
People, you have to go do research. You have to go do research, people.
Hey, everybody see my phone ring.
No, he had to research.
Yeah. Yeah, you stupid. Yeah, see, I like that. He sharp, huh? He using camera tricks now. I see you. Anyway, yo, bro, like the people, they looking towards you to be accurate and precise with your information, man. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're up 24/7. At night time, you can't go to your bed because you're up on all of these channels, YouTube, and all of these channels. And you're going to tell me, say, not one of them represent, not even a little tufenke them. Where you are watch.
Everybody agrees with me. Everybody agree with me.
Yo, hold on. Yo, they go see.
Yo, people, why? The man I watch my lips. Yo. Why?
Anyway, come have you under pressure right now.
Why? No pressure.
Pause.
Why?
Anyway, you're not gonna stop this friggin' lyrical onslaught. I don't care what kind of why or pause you want to put tonight. Now, you tell me, say, all night long, you can't go to your bed, you can't wake up a morning time. Because you're
cringy interview, people.
All of them.
It was a cringy interview.
You're there on all of them little
people,
group chat. And
I know him can't tell with Ufa style, the man did follow.
Bro, it's not real, dog. You want to tell me Alkaline would have waited 10 years to do an interview that he's going to put on the blind eyes. Even the blind eyes should have given it to you guys to see that, yo, this isn't real.
People,
it's not
it was
real.
an AI Alkaline. Do we believe this?
I mean,
he went to AI.
Well,
not Allen Iverson. AI.
All right, so go on BT right now. Go on BT. Thing there. Go on BT.
I want to put it out. I don't mean. I'm not a Vendetta fan, so it's not my business.
You're supposed to be the one that has the common sense.
You're the Vendetta fan.
You're supposed to have common sense.
So we want to know whose style is he in.
But if as clone, are you not extremist? Are you not hearing what I'm saying to you?
So pull it up and show me that it's not real. You show it to me.
You should pull it up.
You show it to me. You brought this ludicrous.
You should do the research.
You the one that brought it to the court. Show us the evidence it's not real.
Listen,
people, do you believe this?
All right, let me ask you.
Do you believe this?
Then.
For 1 week, even Rick Storm vlogged about it. Rick Storm TV vlogged about it.
I'm disappointed.
Tef vlogged about it.
I'm disappointed.
Mountain Massey vlogged about it.
I'm disappointed.
119 talked about it.
I'm disappointed.
This is ludicrous. Alkaline Daily then posted it.
I am disappointed in all of them.
This man here comes along now and tells us it's AI.
The Gaza extremist group that them a page.
It's AI. I can't believe this.
It's not real.
So
all right, let me ask you a question then. Here's a question to you. Which other person have you heard do an interview? Not Spice, Popcaan. Which other person have you known to do UKBT to do an interview?
Brother,
we've never seen it.
BET UK. Just throw me say it not real. Your phone is in your hand.
You go look.
Brother, your phone is in your hand. Everybody have Google. I saw it on IG.
Yes.
You tell me say it's fake.
Real.
Nobody has told me it was fake.
It's not real, so I'm not.
No, this is the first. Not even CV said it was AI. Not even a Citadel said it was AI.
You need a real journalist.
Not even Nick said it was AI.
To break
None of these people have said it was AI. This is the first person. The first person I've heard says AI Alkaline.
It's not real. Yeah,
it's embarrassing,
you heard it here
people.
First, people.
This is what they have.
It's not real, bro.
This man came out and said he was in other people's style, and now he's found himself, and they don't want to admit it. Nothing Alkaline does, they want to admit, people, and we heard it here first.
Yeah, it's
AI Alkaline. First, Carter said it was a good water. They got upset. Imagine what they're going to do to this guy when they hear it's AI Alkaline. But let's move on, because I can't believe that.
Yes.
I can't believe that. This is even better than hearing whose style he was in. But anyway, the real Alkaline, according to you now, did a song that was put out this week, Thursday, I believe, or Wednesday.
Yeah.
5 days now?
Yeah, man.
Let me count. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 5 days now.
Good song.
So it's put out on Wednesday. Song. It has 190K views.
Good song.
In 5 days, which is not good. That's less than 50,000 a day. 20. That's a lot. That's something I don't even know. So but anyway, it was produced by the Genius, which we know is a top class producer who was brought to the forefront by VYBZ KARTEL and Mavado, I donate those type of DJs. Mainly VYBZ KARTEL brought it to the forefront.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we're seeing finally working with Alkaline. Once again, your artist.
Yeah.
He has 2 topics today. So we want to hear what more madness he's going to tell us. So anyway,
Yeah.
my views on the song, it could have been better. It's not what I expected from the genius and him. I mean, it could have been better. I'm not saying Alkaline is not a lyrical artist or he doesn't make decent songs. I'm just saying that for a while he was stuck with these basic producers of his that he thought he was busting, but nobody was really working with other than him. You know what I mean? But I don't know. This song with the genius is not really a 10 out of 10. It's not even a 5 out of 5, maybe a 3.
In your opinion?
In my opinion, 190K views, 6 days. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself after you tell me about the AI Alkaline. How do you feel about this song? My Choice, produced by Steven the Genius, Alkaline.
Well, yeah, I definitely say, you know, I'm not like Stance, you know. I do like Alkaline's music. This song in particular, it would have been, I think that when you hear The Genius and you hear Alkaline on paper, you're just thinking, yo, all right, this is going to be like a mega smash or something like that. And with a lot of Alkaline song, and Poppy also has this thing about with their songs. Sometimes their songs are slow burners, you know, like, don't do it. Their songs are slow burners. And
people from last year, none of them don't catch a fire yet.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm just saying,
right?
Slow burning. Your food still not cooked from last year.
Hey, you're gonna explode. Are you okay?
I'm just saying.
You have on your militant hat and you're being a bit deranged. Hey, relax. So back to my review of the song per se, and if you feel that in any part of the song it might have been lackluster, so to speak, then you know we have to look towards the genius, because it's been quite some time since he's been.
Genius had hit and run last year with Shenseea.
Yeah, it's
Genius have a next song this year with Shenseea.
It's been quite some time.
Genius had a song the other day with Jay the Kingdom.
All you're doing is screaming.
I'm just telling you what the Genius has been up to.
Yes, but guess what? Yes. So what Alkaline was trying to do was revive Genius's thing.
No, the Genius is trying to revive Alkaline's career, and he sees it won't work.
No.
So the Genius has moved on.
No.
It won't work.
So I think maybe if there was a part that you didn't care for in the song, that might have been a little bit of underproduction on Genius's part.
Genius could have produced a little better. Yes, he could have. Yes, he could have.
It's a part of.
I think Alkaline lyrics are really rushed, and meaning he is speeding. Speed limit gone past the song.
That's another production.
He could have slowed it down.
It's another production.
I think that's the both of them.
You're speaking to production, and to be fair,
and that's the problem.
The song was
you see, you Vendetta fans, you know what the problem with you guys is? When they don't tell the artist the truth, and they always blame somebody else for things the artists do. At least over here in Gaza, we'll tell Carter we not like that, or we not like this. He might don't do as we say sometimes, but at least we tell him the truth.
So
over Vendetta, me I tell you say well, Alkaline can do better, you tell me say a Genius fault. So him not do nothing wrong.
Let me ask you a question.
Him not do nothing wrong.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm asking you a question.
No.
Him not do nothing wrong.
No, Alkaline never did nothing wrong in that this song.
All right, hear it, people. Once again, people, you heard it again, people. Yes, Alkaline never does nothing wrong.
No.
So why should I debate or why should I talk?
Anyway.
He never does anything wrong. But Cartel is the worst of the worst.
So hold on. You're going about 50 Cartel today. Cartel song. All right, so in Cartel song, he released a song this week also.
And it's doing better than Alkaline song. 260,000 views in 2 days.
You're going bust a blood
I don't know.
So hold on there. Pretty girl.
Pretty Girls, yes.
Is that
Pretty Girls wine. It's a wine-up song for the girls that wine up.
So is that on your Instagram story soundtrack that you are playing? That you have
Yes, yes,
that you have on your Instagram story, Soundtrack?
yes. When I put up an
Okay.
Instagram story, I'll put up that with a girl whining and dancing, having fun, sexiness.
Well, you know, that's the thing with you guys.
What? Alkaline can't change the topic.
Extremist.
Everything Alkaline sing about is itself. He don't know how to sing other things. Just money. Money lifestyle for his own sake.
I would say
the last 7-10 songs is the same topic.
That's not true.
It is true.
That's not
it's true. It's true, very much so.
What you need to do, all right.
Earn your way about himself and money. The next one, Blanco, about money and flossing, himself again. All of them is the same. The topics stay the same. And the results stay the same.
That is not true, Rugo.
His music goes nowhere.
These are the things.
His music goes nowhere.
You go onto these. These are the things. These are the things. You go onto YouTube and you go into these chat
What's
channels.
What's Alkaline latest song?
You go into YouTube and you go into these chat channels.
Not even you are listening.
You spew out all type of foolishness.
Excuse me.
And then you come here now.
Not even he is listening to these songs. Not even he is listening to these songs.
Are we having a conversation or are you just screaming at the camera? Because if you want to scream at the camera this week, because you definitely came with a tactic. Your whole mentality has changed. You come now, you're just screaming at the camera. You're over talking.
I'm asking them questions as we talk.
This is not a conversation.
It's a debate conversation.
You're yelling. This is not a conversation.
But you tell me first you tell me this man does an interview.
Brother, this is not the way.
This man does an interview.
Yes,
and you tell me it was an AI Alkaline.
Yes.
But I come again, I say something else, and you tell me, say, this man Alkaline does nothing wrong.
All right, I'm gonna let you go, Rugo, because
so I don't know.
I don't want to do this on camera. This is
I
not
don't
the way I
know.
want to behave on
This
camera.
is a Alkaline supporter, a vendetta fan.
This is not the way I would like to behave, yo. We need to conduct the interview in a manner in which
you're not interviewing
they're watching
me.
You, sir.
You're not interviewing me. We're debating.
This pod. No, but
he's so discombobulated. He thinks I'm the star.
You're definitely you're mad. You're mad. You see, he doesn't even know.
He's so discombobulated.
The analogy of his
name.
He
thinks we're on the interview.
His name is Rockstar, and he doesn't think that he's a star. It's like
yes, I grew up in Jamaica. I moved to America when I was such and such. I went to school. I went to college. I planned entertainment. I like entertainment. That's my history. Ask me another one.
But I know one asked you that. What are you talking about?
It's an interview.
You sound foolish.
No.
Yo, anyway.
Yeah, man, but you don't know, Alkaline, you have to do better, brother. 1 year now, 1 year and a half now. And the fans, them.
Yo,
your fan base is up because you make fan-based music. I understand. But the other parts of the world, the people, them in the real world, the streets, they want better music. This was an attempt with the Genius. Genius, you could have given him a better production too. That sound more like a female's rhythm. You could have given him a better rhythm, Genius. So I'm not left you out of the crossfire neither. Better production. That's what this guy needs. His lyrics are alright, but better production would do. He had those people he was working with last year. We don't know where they're from. I hope they stay there.
This will be my last. This will be my last topic on it because all you're gonna do is.
Well, I only talk the truth, bro. I can only talk the truth. Can't lie to myself.
This is what I'll say, and then I'll just move on. But because all you're gonna do is scream and shout, you know. You front good like Jesus. You front good like Jesus. You know, and that's
not mine. Why?
Well, that's the lyrics of the song.
It is. You didn't explain that. Explain that. You talk to me, brother.
No, I'm not talking to you.
Front, man.
That is the lyrics. That is the lyrics. That is the bar. That's the standard.
But me ask you about Alkaline.
That is the standard.
I'm asking you about Alkaline and you got to Kartel.
No,
I bet the Kartel song have views.
You're saying that
Kartel song has views and people listening to Kartel song. Nobody's listening to this garbage. Trash. Trash it. Let's move on. So, Popcaan now. We say Popcaan, Gaza artist, Gaza student, become and did great things in the world of music. Big up Popcaan. But now, he has sold silver in the UK with his song, My Type, which is a dope song. I like My Type. I mean, female song. Y'all them wind up.
Watch something, girl. Wind up yourself.
Yeah, hey. I mean, we love that. Girls wind up. We like that. You sell silver in the UK. We not really have much to say. It's a great accomplishment. You know what I mean? Papi, like we say, Gaza student, went out on the world, made it by himself, unruly. His brand is big. You know what I mean? He linked with Drake for a while, but now he's back independent route, putting out music, great music. His music that he's putting out is doing things. You know what I mean? It might not get the plays them in Jamaica like we expect, but in the world, poppy music is playing. You know what I mean? Big up Popcaan. It's a great accomplishment. I'll give you some YouTube numbers, because YouTube is our platform. The song has 86 million total views on YouTube. It has 50 in the audio, and it has, I think, 36 million with the video. So 86 combined with the audio and video. So that's a great, great, great accomplishment for Popcaan. Like I said, it's silver in the UK. I think it's doing numbers in the United States. I think it's a girl's favorite in the United States. You know what I mean? And like I said, we can't wait for Papi getting visa for Florida, America, come do some great things, some arena shows and all these things, you know what I mean? And make some great music and continue his brand. Big up Popcaan, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, to sell 200,000 units in the UK, it's a great achievement. The song was released in 2018, so 7 years ago. And to be able to tap up into that diaspora, that market, that's a great achievement, man. Unruly boss. Oi, oi, you know the vibes. Uh, yeah, what else we got?
Yeah, man.
You want to move on to some international news? We got some. We haven't been touching our international base, and like that Diddy and Cassie thing. That's like the number one thing here in the States. Um, Diddy accused of crimes, numerous crimes, in a RICO actually, where he's started trial right now, and
Second or third week, I guess.
no, actually it's the first week. Last week was the first week. They completed. Cassie was on stage. Don from Danity Kane, which was one of his former groups, from I think what's it? Not making the band, but one of
Dirty
those.
Money, that's the name of
Dirty
the group.
Money, correct? And yeah, she was on stand also. So it's been a tumultuous week for Diddy. Hearing some of these allegations. I'm not a freaky person. I'm not into freaky life. But, yeah, I'm not into those type of things. But it was all types of very, very, very detailed, graphic things that he's accused of. Um, Taking bodily fluids and rubbing it on his chest,
Male body fluids.
watching a male and pleasuring himself in the corner while a male is having relations with Cassie, Miss Cassandra Vanchura. And, it was a lot of jaw dropping things that came to the forefront. And, you would imagine that a man of that stature would be having his way with lovely, lovely women, but instead he always chose to bring in male escorts to pleasure his women, and he would be either in the background or recording, or they said he was, in the corner pleasuring himself. What do you think about this whole ordeal with Diddy and Cassie, and what do you think is, what's from your point of view as a rock star, because you've always said that you want a video vixen. How's that going?
Yeah, one in a video vixen is
How's that going?
totally far different from calling out male prostitutes to come sleep with the vixen and you watch a male prostitute ram the vixen.
Yeah.
That's totally far
Why?
different from me want
Why?
a vixen, you know what I
Why?
mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I mean, of them thing there, you know what I mean? But this whole case is,
I get hot people, me just drop about 40 on him.
it's, I'm lost. But, anyway, so if you say what Puffy I got through, I don't wish that upon my worst enemy, because it's really crazy. And you're in a federal court, and your personal life, sexual life, your deviances all coming out in court. in this manner, in this fashion, in front of your family, your children, your daughters, your sons, your mother, the whole world.
What do you think it's like
You know what
for
I
his
mean?
children to be in the audience and to hear some of these graphic things? Because I've even heard that his daughters had to leave when they were explaining like some of the things where their dad was doing with other males being in the room. I think the daughters had to leave the
I
courtroom.
think they left
Maybe
before
in
that, but when it came to that, I think they were there. But
no, they left out. They said they left out
it's
at
good
that point.
because I wouldn't want my daughter to hear nothing about things like that. If I was into things like that, which I'm not, and I would never be. But it's
What do you think he's
crazy. I
thinking?
mean,
What do you think he's thinking in a
he
moment
got to
like
be
this?
thinking like. And remember, saying not really depend on drugs right now. Hopefully, he's not. So he have a clear mind, and yeah, you might have lived it and you might have done it, but no, if you hear it actually being spoke about, it's something totally different. So I don't know what he could be thinking. Like, I know he's thinking, yo, I want to beat this case. I want my freedom. I know that should be the first thing he's thinking about.
Do you think he has a
But,
possibility of beating it?
well, like, I talk to a lot of females and I talk to a few males also, and it's surprising that a lot of females think he's innocent just because Cassie wanted it, but there's a lot of things that they're not seeing. Like, yeah, maybe she didn't want it, but it's enough times she said she didn't want to do it and enforce her. So in between she not wanting it and she wanting it, it's crimes in between everything. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say I'm totally innocent or I'm totally guilty, but there's a mixture in between. I'm not gonna say she totally innocent or she totally guilty. It's mixed, so I don't know. You say she get a bag, 20 million from Puffy, 10 million from the hotel. I'm not saying she's wrong for getting a bag, because, yeah, she went through a lot. Sores in the mouth, pissing at the mouth. Then probably shit on her too. Who knows? You know what I mean? So, enough things she got through, and most of the time, and she one in the, and she one, the members of Cassie's from New London, Connecticut, up the road from us. Poor beach town, lots of drugs. So she's not, she's beautiful, yes, but it's not like she came from privileged background. You know what I mean? So to say.
So your stance stays the same, where in your just using your own words, could this be a technicality?
It's technicalities and everything, like I said. It's a court. I'm not going to be foolish. There's technicalities everywhere. If he beats it, he beats it on a technicality. Maybe they charge him with the wrong charge. If he gets convicted, technicality. Maybe they overcharged him. Who knows? It's a technicality everywhere. I'm not foolish. It's the court. You know what I mean? We've all been to the courts. Maybe we did this crime they said we did. Maybe we didn't. But we know how the courts play.
Yeah.
I'm not
So
foolish.
yeah, it was definitely a lot of detailed graphic things. The trial continues to proceed at the moment as we speak. So next week we'll give you another synopsis or some detailed information as the news breaks.
Just always know I don't condone violence against females. You know what I mean? I don't condone certain things.
No,
Like,
that's definitely
I
a
mean,
no.
I'm not into that. I have goddaughters, sisters, aunts, mother. So it's like certain things I look different. Even if Puffy can walk out innocent, I'ma still look at it in Cassie's favor until it be proven that, nah, she wrong. But I said I got guilty until proven innocent. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is with this case, though, it's not a case where if he assaulted her or not. That's not what he's on trial for. He's on trial for this RICO federal act, which is saying that him and his cronies, which would be the people that worked under him, his security, his assistant, it would be those individuals. He utilized those individuals to conspire to this crime, this sexual crime, where he has male escorts
Which
flying
he's
out.
paying money to prostitutes.
Right, so he's
You know,
flying
we
out.
can pitch it
Right,
up
so
about male as they're prostitutes same way.
these are different deviants and different crimes that they're trying to
When he beat
compile.
her up and brought her
And
back to the hotel room, that's
he's
kidnapping.
okay. So
That's the crime, a
yeah,
part of the
so
RICO.
they need two crimes to find him guilty of that they can.
Prostitution and kidnapping. We see two already.
So if he gets found guilty off of two crimes, then they'll be able to actually, with if the prosecution proceeds to find him guilty of 2 crimes, then he's
Can I say
liable up
something to
to
you too,
20
Reggae?
years.
Let me say something to you.
What?
This is what I said to a lot of people that they don't understand. And this is fun and joke out of it. Like, yeah, we sarcastic and we have fun and say certain things, but it's real talk. 8 men upon the jury, 4 females. I believe it's 8 white men, 4 white females. I believe that's the count. All right, maybe everybody saying it's just domestic. But after 8 weeks, cause it's going all the way back to like June something, all right, probably end of June. 8 weeks.
Yeah.
We sitting there in the jury. After a while, people just stop hearing certain things and just start looking at the person as a monster. Yeah, maybe what we might say, oh, it's just this, it's just that. We're not on the jury. After a while, people just start looking and just see, yo, we gotta get him out of here. Yes, he might beat it in appeals, but you have to sit down for a while because of what the 12 of us said. You know what I mean? So, my nigga, I've been in courts where I'm terrified of, like, just to walk up and talk with the prosecutor. Sometimes I'm terrified. Like, I hate the courts. I hate the court. I hate going to the court. So anything can happen, and I'm not being facetious. I'm not being foolish. It's 12 people, 8 men, 4 females. You don't know if they got daughters, whatever. Yeah, we might say it's domestic violence, and that's all people are saying. But they're not talking about the kidnapping, him dragging her back to the room in the hotel. They're like, oh, it's a lot.
That's what
You know what I mean?
that's the case that the prosecutor is trying to prove. And next week we'll definitely forward back to this case because it is really, really heightened right now into the news. It's kind of like headlines everywhere you see. So the Diddy and Cassie thing, we're gonna keep you guys abreast to all of the happenings. Moving on further,
This should be a fun one for us because this one,
I want to talk about
Foot.
King Beenie Man
And viral King Foota.
decides to hire Foota for his show at the UBS Arena. Was it next week, I believe? Yeah, so Foota has managed to, keep his name in the headlines once again. And I knew it. I said it last week. Foota's going to find a way. And now people are saying that the show is Foota Hype featuring King Beenie Man. So what say you?
Like I said, on the YouTube streets, we do ticket watching. And as we know,
What's ticket watching? Explain to the people.
We go and we look at these arenas that the cartels are in. The Alkaline was in Europe. The Movada was in, will get cancelled. The I Don't show what happened 2 weeks ago. Things like that. We go around and we look at the tickets and see if they're selling. How the Bounty show in BK coming up in a couple months. It's to see if these shows are moving or not. And remember, sir, King Beenie Man did get in visa back, or he got his show announced around the time Cartel got his first Barclays show. And from then till now, it's been a stringent watch, so to say. What the fuck, man?
Say now silence on your
Some of the thing the silence and it's gonna ring.
God do it again. I may just go so man, fix it permanently.
Excuse that. I mean, so it's been a stringent watch. Beenie Man tickets is not removing off the shelf like bread and butter. You know what I mean? Them just dead like baking soda and them stuck on the shelf. So we've been talking about this from March till now. We're in May, 3 months, 90 days almost, and the tickets not moving. We saw the promoter come out and say the tickets are selling in the streets, but we don't know about that because it's arena shows, and we saw arena shows run. Them are seating capacity, and them are a standing room only. You know what I mean? So at that, I know if it's a Foota on the show, and Foota taking the reins like it's his show from the beginning, and then just I get around to sign his contract. No, I don't know, man. We just have to wait and see.
What are you waiting on to see?
What happens for Saturday? It's this Saturday, by the way. We don't hate. I don't hate.
I
It's
mean,
this Saturday.
everything you
You know
just
what I mean?
uttered about when you started your whole
The
sequility.
truth is the
When you
truth can't
start
be hate. The
when
truth is the truth. If we look on the Ticketmasters and we see a blue, a blue a sea full of blue, tickets now move. We're not seeing a pitch patch island, little white here, little blue there. I see a blue, like your suit. You know what I mean? So I just thought the truth. The
it's not
truth
really blue,
hurts.
but
I
okay.
should have that in the podcast name. The truth hurts. I just thought the truth. Me can't pretend what me not say. Me can't say me say 1,000 tickets sell when me not say one sell.
And so
I don't know.
and you call yourself ticket watchers, right?
Yeah. It's a new thing. Academics does it for hip hop, so we do it for dancehall.
Okay. And you saying that you've been on there and you're seeing that
You
all
wanna
the
pull it up?
seats are still
It's on
available.
you. It's on phone.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying all this. Yeah, I'm saying they're not even using full capacity anyway. They probably use a 15, 12,000 and it's a sea blue.
I think it's a good look for the viral
And I
king.
don't want it to flop. I want it to be a successful show, but
The people
people not forgo to support the artists them.
they hear what you said earlier, but yeah, I think this is a good look for the viral king. He's going to once they booked him or scheduled him for the show, he's doing what Foota does. He promotes the heck out of it. You know, he did a 30-minute video, and he's out there promoting the show, and you know he's managed to make it seem like it's Foota and friends, and you know I would like to see um, how Foota does as far as moderating this show, because you know I don't know if we have it on your list, but MC Nuffy was on Woodford, and MC Nuffy, it's not a comparison thing, but he's having a phenomenal year. Just to be brought on to the Cartel show, he electrifies the crowd. He has the proper ad libs, and you know
Man,
it's
you know, say in my
actually
foot, I have like a
yeah,
sparring
yeah,
going
yeah,
between them.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I
So
mean?
you know, I would like to see Foota take this moment and now capitalize on it. You know, like I've seen him. He's been practicing some intros, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah,
Foot is a good salesman. I mean, I ain't gonna take that from him. He might try to sell his part. Cause that's what something Beenie Man lapsed. Beenie Man lapsed. Beenie Man went on a few interviews when him could highlight him show and get people. He lapsed. He pretended like say it wasn't important. I, I know it's
you
coming.
can't turn off a phone, dog. You can't turn it off. You can't turn off a phone.
I mean, they
You
say something
can't turn
not
off a
answer and
phone.
feet keep on a call.
Ma, you do a podcast. You can't turn off a phone.
Anyway, back to what me I say. Cause the youth are a little rude right now. I mean, they
Why
like
you?
rudeness.
Boy,
You know
you
what I
know
mean?
about three times now to
If me get
blow. I could have
disrespectful
edited the
with him
first
right
time
now,
and the second
him,
time.
him, him, him,
It's a third backside
him
time
a
you have the
cry.
phone
But I
about.
that me a talk about. Me a talk about being him and ticket now sell. I that me a talk about. You say you piss me off and I forget serious now.
Care
That
if
me
you want
say.
to get serious. It don't make no sense. Anyway, like I was saying, I don't know if you have the. Yo, this is a very good look for Foota. As I said, you know, UBS Arena, it should be electrified. Beenie Man's a very good performer. You know, I'm pretty sure. I think he got Louis Culture. No?
Yes, he has Louis
Louis
Culture.
Culture.
He has
You know, he has.
Christopher Martin. He
Yeah,
has
you know, it's gonna.
Critical.
Yeah, it'll be a good show. It'll be a good show. I mean, you know, and then we also have Bunty coming up, so we're gonna look out for that. But as I said, I think for Foota, so to speak, Foota needs to go ahead and you know, just like how he's the viral king. Well, you know, he needs to step into this role. You know, put it like this. You know, the first Freedom Street, Missy Nuffy run across the stage. The whole thing run out, man. Oh, what
So you say you want to see Foota run and go to his selected
well,
booth.
listen. You know, I don't know. So you love to tell people, hey, I've been listening to dancehall from this and this and this, which I'm not saying no, but I kind of always keep reserved. But you know, me being a statesman into this reggae roots culture thing, I see that Nuffy MC style. He looked like, all right. all those sound effects, stuff like that. That comes from Horseman. You know, Horseman back in the 80s when he would
So
have
you're
been
saying
with...
Puffy is pirating or Puffy is...
No, I didn't say
Oh.
Nuffy is doing anything like that. If you allow me to land, then you will get what I'm trying to say. So, Nuffy, he grabbed something from an older time, refixed it, and I'm not saying he strategically did it, or he even knows where it came from, but we need Foota to grab something.
Like a Rory. So it might be a Rory
Make his
2.0.
mark. I'm not saying Rory because Rory's an Englishman who came to Jamaica and he used that, it's come, and it kind of worked for a time and then it kind of died out later on. But I want Foota to really, really be able to electrify.
Type?
I don't listen. I don't have the perfect thing right now, but I want him to dig in, be his own version of Foota. You know,
I asked you this a while forward.
Like a Beaky Bailey, but he can't be. He's not jovial.
He's not comedian,
funny. Right?
So.
But there's a way that I want him to be able to.
But I asked you this a while ago. Do you think that Foota believes he's more than what he really is?
He proved to you that he's more than what you think he is. He just proved it to you. Last week you were kind of laughing in his direction, and this week you're now speaking on him leading a show. So he's going to host a show. That's good for Foota because essentially he's making small movements. So, you know, the only thing I can say, he shall capitalize on this. If he capitalizes on this, you know, and you just continue doing his thing. So it's a good look. Beenie Man, success to your show. You know, I hope it really, really turns out well. Yeah.
Yeah, man, and you don't know, we have, but time limited. It was a beautiful show today. Let Me Land podcast, little heated here and there, but we had fun, jovial laugh. I mean, it's just our perspective on the views, how we view things. Other people have different views. We just reason, have fun, talk what we know, talk what we remember.
I thought you were going to do the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, but we're not having the time permitting. I mean,
we got 15 minutes.
But me have to cut. I have to cut.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
okay,
so
okay. Yes.
Next week we'll start off with that topic there.
Next week,
reggae much more.
Reggae,
so look out for that.
Yes.
It'll be a dope topic. I swear, say no reggae music more than me. Still, sometimes means a dancehall fanatic, but he believes he knows more than I do. But so next week we'll have a more in-depth argument about this.
Yeah,
I mean, but
watching the Let Me Land podcast, it's your boy Reggae. You don't know, don't ragga. You see me?
Rockstar 860, always a rockstar. You know what I mean? You don't know, we out.
Yo, I'm gonna cuff him up today, don't people?
People, Manny Pacquiao, you lost the next one.
Cuff him up, quiff.